Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a sunset beginners friendly eyeshadow look, just like the picture in my intro. I did my brows off of camera so that way I can go ahead and hop into this look, and I used the concealer from Makeup Revolution as my base. As you can see, my inspiration, and then these are the shades that I used to achieve this look. So I'm first going to start off with the lightest shade called B, and I start this right in my crease and start to blend up to my brow bone, making sure that I'm packing on the color because with it being such a lighter shade, I need to build onto this so it can start to show off good color payoff. I think that I let my base dry a little bit too much because it's not really holding on to the pigment like I want to. And I'm really interested in actually trying out different brands that is great for really vibrant colors. You'll notice that I go back to my pot quite a bit just to pack on this yellow, but I really like the warm look that it's gonna give once I start to add my orange. So the yellow's looking pretty good, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and start to move over to my medium shade, so that way I can go right to the crease and work my way down to the darkest color. This brush that I'm using is an Urban Decay brush that I actually got quite a few years ago, and it's double-sided and it came with one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. It was one of the first that I actually used to start practicing blending eyeshadows because it has one side that packs on color and the other one that is great for blending, as you can see what I'm doing now. The first two shades are looking great, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to my darkest shade and start to pack on the color so I can start to blend it up into the orange that I just did. So as you can see, I continue to go back to my pot and just build onto this eyeshadow until it gets to the right depth that I need it to be. When I think that I'm done, I always like to take a look at my entire eye before I move on, just to make sure that there's nothing more that I need to blend. So I'm pretty satisfied with my eyeshadow, so now I'm going to be applying my eyelashes. I love the Eylure definition set. These are quickly becoming my favorite go-to lashes. I like to let my lash glue dry halfway, so when I place them, they don't move. So now onto this face. I'll be using my Makeup Revolution foundation, shade 12.5, and applying to my main areas. Then I'll be adding my Fit Me by Maybelline, number 322, to neutralize my color so that I'm not too warm. This day I decided to use a brush to blend in my foundation because I wanted the most amount of coverage as possible. Once my foundation is blended in nicely, I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution concealer number 10.5 to conceal underneath my eyes, my chin, my nose, above my lip and my forehead. Once my concealer is applied, I'm going to take my Real Techniques Fluffy Under Eye Brush to blend out this concealer because I want as much coverage as possible. I can honestly say that I've learned so much from my first few videos to making sure that I have a good mirror, proper lighting. So in a next video that I want to do is a DIY for a handheld mirror that is super pretty and looks great in videos. The one I currently have is super bulky and is a little heavy, So I want something that's going to be a little more dainty. Here, I just continue to blend out my concealer into my foundation until I'm satisfied. Jumping into my contour, I'll be using the Makeup Revolution Fast Base shade number 14 to do my contour. With me having shorter hair, I have to make sure that I am sculpting out my features so that way my face doesn't look so round. I'll be using a wet beauty blender to blend out my contour. I do record most of my looks before I have to go off to work, so oftentimes it'll look as though I'm rushing, but this is truly a beginner's look just due to the time that goes into it and the awesome results that you'll get in the end. Once my contour is complete, I like to take a look at my entire face before I move on to baking. And I like to bake for up to 1 to 2 minutes just to make sure that everything is going to stay in place for the rest of the day. I am using the Makeup Revolution shade Banana. I recently discovered the deep banana and I am in love with it. From here on out, I will be only using the deep shade for the powder. You never realize your facial expressions until you're watching a video of you doing your makeup. But I love to finish out my eye at the bottom with some eyeshadow. So I'll be using the same colors that I used on the top lid for the bottom. So starting off with my lightest shade, but actually going to my darkest shade, and then using that middle shade to blend in between, just to close out the eye. While doing my under eye shadow, I did realize that my lid on my right eye wasn't completely blended. So I do go back before I completely finish this look, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and matched. Now it is time to wrap up this look. So I will be doing some white eyeliner to open up my eyes. I love mascara on my bottom lashes just to make those pop as well. To ensure that my natural lashes and my lash strips are merged together, I'll do a stroke of mascara on the top lashes as well. Here you'll see me use a little bit of bronzer to set the cream contour that I used earlier in my video, and it gives it a little bit more softer look. To give a little bit more color back into my face, I'll be using my favorite blush from Juvias Place. After using my Morphe setting spray, I like to use a fan to place my highlight in all the places that I want to emphasize, like my forehead and my cheekbones. And then I like to use my Morphe setting spray right after as well.